Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Star Wars Wednesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Star Wars, the Black Series, Gaming Greats, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Darth Maul, Old Master. Let's get into it! Let's take a trip down the dark side with a look at the packaging. And then here on the top, don't really have anything except the hook there. Some tape. On the front, Star Wars, the Black Series. Nice digital render of the figure. The Gaming Greats sticker on there. Star Wars, Battlefront 2, Darth Maul, Old Master. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole. It's for 4 and up, plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. Hasbro print. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, we've got some nice artwork of the Old Master there. And then on this side, Gaming Greats shows you how tall he is, which is 6.0 inches. And nice digital render there of the figure. Plastic-free packaging, just in case you forgot from where I said it before. Recycle this stuff. And then Star Wars, the Black Series, Darth Maul, Old Master. Nice digital render there. Same as on the front. A deadly, agile Sith Lord. Sinister Darth Maul was a formidable warrior and a scheming mastermind. He wielded an intimidating double-bladed lightsaber and the power of the dark side. And then here again, he's number 23 in Gaming Greats Battlefront 2. Attention! Especially don't stick things in your French pie hole. Warning, attention, Octoon, don't stick things in any other language pie hole that don't belong there. And of course, don't give it to babies. Includes figure and accessory. Small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, Disney print, Hasbro print. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. First off, we've got handy dandy tweezers here. So let's take a look at the accessories. And here we have his lightsaber hilt. Lots of nice molded detail in there. It looks like it's got at least one paint app. It's probably, well, 2 paint apps because that stripe right there and this one right here, and 3 because there's this piece in the handle and then this, so maybe it's molded in this color and then painted with this color, but that seems a little counterintuitive for Hasbro. And then we've got another stripe here and here, lots of nice molded detail. Port here for a blade, and here for one as well. So overall, I have to say it looks pretty nice. And then next up we have 2 lightsaber blades, red translucent plastic, and as you can see, it's on the older style peg with the very small peg with the ring. And as far as how they work with the lightsaber, you should be pretty familiar with this if you're familiar with Black Series at all. They just port into the handles, and be very, very careful with these very thin pegs because they can very easily break off. And there we go. Whew. Dodge that bullet. Let's take a look at the figure himself. And I have to say, that's a very nice head sculpt. And I mean, just the paint on it, I don't know if it's paint or if it's a tampo. It's probably a tampo, I would guess. And then paint for the horns maybe. And just those eyes and the teeth. And then like the lines on the arms. So overall, I have to say, he's a pretty cool looking figure. Not a lot of new pieces in here. This piece is an overlay, and I think it's really the only new pieces. From the waist down, he's pretty much Clone Wars Darth Maul, and then from the waist up, I think he's the shirtless comic book Darth Maul, and then they just put this overlay on it. These pieces are separate pieces, and they will move with the arm. They have that tab that runs down, and the arm pins through it. And then this belt piece looks like it's separate from this top overlay as well. And then this is all, for the most part, he's molded in the correct color. So, you know, it's molded in this color, and the rest of it's molded in black. This, of course, molded in red, and then the black lines are added, and probably the same with the face as well. It may actually be molded in black plastic, and then the tampo with red, and then paint for the horns, and face printing for the mouth and eyes. But of course, this whole face, you know, all the stuff on his face might all be the face printing technology. I'm not sure. Well, let's take a look at his articulation. He can look up that high, and it looks like there's a dumbbell going into the neck, and then the neck has a ball joint going into the chest, and it's 3 separate pieces there. So he gets lots of chicken neck. He gets lots of waggle. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulders, he raises his arm up just below 90 degrees, it looks like. 360 degree rotation there. Nothing at the upper bicep. He has single hinge and swivel at the elbow. Swivels around 360 degrees and gives you a bit better than 90 degrees of bend at the wrist. 360 degree rotation on an up and down hinge, and the other side is up and down hinge as well. Then at the waist, which you can't see because of this overlay, there's a ball joint in there, so he's got hula going on. He can lean back that far. He can crunch forward that far. He can lean left and right. And he can do a full 360 degree rotation. At the hips, he gives you that much of the splits, which is really good. And kicks forward. We'll go ahead and say that's 90 degrees, because it's 90 up here, and then it goes down from there. And then back about a full step. Cut at the upper bicep for a full 360 degree rotation. Single hinge and swivel at the knee. Knee bends not quite 90 degrees and swivels around 360 degrees. And at the ankles, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. That, my friends, is a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have Star Wars, the Black Series, Battlefront 2, Darth Maul Old Master, with Star Wars, the Black Series, the Clone Wars, Darth Maul, and Star Wars, the Black Series original release, I want to say Wave 1, maybe Wave 2, Episode 1, Darth Maul.
Hello there.
For our final set of comparisons, here we have the GameStop exclusive Star Wars The Black Series gaming greats Darth Maul Old Master from Battlefront 2, with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. our final Star Wars Black Series comparison, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on Star Wars The Black Series, Battlefront 2, Darth Maul, Old Master, I really have to say, when I think of Old Master, this is not what I think of. And I know this is a representation of that character they used in the Battlefront 2 video game. But when I think of Old Master, I think more along the lines of how he appeared in Rebels. And that's not to say there's nothing wrong with this version. It's just, for me, I really probably could have passed on it. As, you know, I don't know why I didn't pass on it. It's not a bad figure. And, you know, there's really nothing wrong with it. There is a lot of reuse going on here, and rightly so. But I really think, again, when I think of Old Master, I think more of how he appeared in Rebels, and it was more of a wizened and not necessarily broke down, but aged version of Darth Maul, and this just does not, to me, represent that. And again, I know that it is the version that they used in the video game, and why they call it Old Master, I don't know. Maybe they just needed another version to use. Now, you know, a lot of this guy is reuse. The overlay is new, but I know the crotch piece, from the crotch piece down, crotch piece legs, you know, that's all reuse from the Clone Wars version of Darth Maul. And that's fine, because that is appropriate. And I mean, all the reuse on this guy is appropriate, except for maybe the head. And the hands are reuse from the Clone Wars version as well, I think. Now, I don't know 100%, but I think the torso under the overlay is the unclothed version, where, you know, the comic book version where they did the episode 1 from the waist down and waist up, he was unshirted. And I think the torso and the arms come from that. The head, I'm not sure where it comes from. I thought at first it was the same as the Clone Wars version, but it's not. This one has much more of a wider smile. More teeth are showing at any rate than on the Clone Wars version. So I don't know if this is reuse from the publishing program comic book Darth Maul or what, but it's not the same as the first issue Black Series Darth Maul, and it's not the same as Clone Wars. And that's the only one I don't have, is the publishing program Darth Maul. So it very well could be reused from there. It could actually be a new piece, but I think it probably is reused. I think reuse. I think the only new piece really are the shoulder pads and the torso overlay, and I think that's all that's new on this figure. So, you know, if you were looking for the Rebels version of Old Master, this is a pass for you. Now, if you're a huge Darth Maul fan, or you just really like this version from Battlefront 2, then, you know, this is for you. But if you're looking more for the Rebels version, this is not the one for you. Unless, you know, you're a customizer, and then you might can do something with it. I don't know. I'm not a customizer, so. But again, it's not that it's a bad figure, and you could probably fit it in, you know, wherever you wanted to. You know, Clone Wars, at least from when he had these legs. So, You know, it's not that it doesn't fit in with stuff. It can just be, you know, it's Clone Wars version, but he's wearing clothes he wears later. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't stand out from the rest of the Black Series. It can fit right in with Clone Wars or Rebels. I mean, it can fit in with Rebels. It's just, to me, it's just not aged enough to be Old Master. So I think I'll probably be displaying this guy more with Clone Wars stuff and not so much with the Rebels section of my display. Or I could just stick him in with the video game stuff. I might do that. Well, that, my friends, does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.